Hello and welcome to Spirit Among Us. Our world is dominated by the idea of busyness. Throughout our lives, we are told that we need to go, that we need to rush through everything, that we need to be doing as much as we possibly can at every moment. We need to make the best use of our times. We need to do everything right. Because in this culture, in this society, we are meant to strive for success. That is the end goal. That is the final prize that we are working for. We want to be successful. We want money. We want a good job. We want all kinds of blessings, and we need to work for those. So we are constantly fed this mantra of we need to be the quote-unquote best we can be by being as busy as we possibly can. Work, work, work. That's all we need to do. That's all we need to keep doing if we want that success. Now, this isn't exactly what we have been called for in Jesus. Although God wants us to do things for Him, He does not want us to have this kind of lifestyle. He does not want us to strive for success. Psalm 127 verse 2. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for He grants sleep to those He loves. It's in vain, useless, not successful for those who rise up early, for those who stay up late, who are always working. In this example, it talks specifically about food to eat. But I think this can be applied to success, to our lives today. Today we're not all farmers, but we have our own jobs, and we can always get caught into this thing of we need to rise up early, we need to stay up late, we need to use every bit of daylight we possibly can, all of our energy to get everything we need to get done. We are always working. But the psalmist here says that that is pointless because God gives rest. God wants us to rest. Jesus doesn't want us to go through our lives always working, always busy, always overwhelmed by everything that's happening. He doesn't want our focus to be on how much we can do, how much we can accomplish, how we can improve ourselves. He wants our focus to be on Him, and then everything else will come after. Now, this isn't to say that we should be sloth-like. This isn't to say that God doesn't want us to work. He doesn't want us to do anything. He just wants us to sit around, do some prayers, maybe read the Bible a little bit, and just kind of hang out. Because God doesn't condone that either. He does not want that. It's bad to be slothful. So God wants us to work, but He does not want us to overwork. But how about when we feel overwhelmed? What about those moments when maybe we haven't put ourselves in a situation, but we are busy anyways? We are in this situation and we don't know how to get through. We don't know how we can finish everything. We don't know how we can get through it in a successful way, in a way that God wants us to. What should we do? What do we do when we're overwhelmed? Psalm 46 verse 1. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. You see, no matter what situation we're in, no matter what we're facing, we can always turn to Jesus. We can always turn back to Him. No matter how desperate we become, no matter how overwhelming our circumstances are, we can always look to Him because He is our refuge. He is our strength, and He is always there, ever present. God is with us, and God is for us. Our refuge and strength, and He is there to help us through anything that we face. God doesn't want us to be overwhelmed, but when we feel overwhelmed, He wants us to turn to Him, to cast that at His feet, to give it to Him, and to trust that He is going to carry us through this situation. Now, this isn't always an easy thing to do. I mean, let's be honest, our lives can be pretty overwhelming sometimes. Things can get really busy, things can get out of hand and extreme, and it can be hard to see how we can get through it all. But God does not want us to simply look at our circumstances. He wants us to look to Him. He wants us to focus on Him. And even when our lives are so busy that we can't find any rest from it, we can't find any break, we can't separate ourselves from the situation, God wants us to find our rest in Him. When we give Him time, when we spend time with Him, when we ask, He will give us rest. He will give us that strength. He will renew our spirits, because that is what He loves to do. That is our God. He is for us. He is always there, always waiting for us to call out to Him. And He wants to be our strength through every situation. God wants to give us rest regardless of our situation. He doesn't want us to strive for success, but rather He wants us to focus on Him. And when we feel overwhelmed, He wants us to always turn to Him. So whatever you may be facing today, whatever circumstances, whether they're in your control or out of your control, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're unsure of what you can do, of how you can get through whatever you may be facing, let God be your rest today. Turn to Him, cast this at His feet, place it at the feet of Jesus, and let Him give you rest. Thank you for watching, and God bless.